We were told.
It's
I can
better.
remember in the 80s and 90s of these drug reps coming to our office, bringing us really nice lunches, taking us to Laker games, giving us these really nice gift bags with formula in it, telling us that formula was better than breastfeeding. And we used to have, Apollo, you're going to shake your head even more now. We used to have standing orders on our postpartum when I was a resident at Cedars. This would be the early 80s. There was a standing order to give a shot of something called Thalidomide or Del-estrogen, which were two estrogen-containing compounds, to give to a woman who just gave birth in order to dry up their breast milk so that they could bottle feed without getting engorged. So
Dry up the breast milk?
Right, because we encouraged bottle feeding because that's what we were told was good. Right. You know, if I was one of those devout Christians, I would get one of those things and start flailing my back, you know, for the things that
That's incredible.
I didn't know, but I did when I was young. Right.
So you
So we encourage women to not breastfeed. That was the medicalized model. And it was all pushed by Big Pharma. It was all a lie. Birth control pills, another monstrous lie. Birth control pills, you'll be free, as if the menstrual cycle and a woman normal cycling doesn't have benefit for her body. We're just going to shut it off for 20 years.
We know
and now
better.
you're 35 and you want to try to get pregnant, you get off the pill, and now you've got all kinds of problems that we've been masking for all these years. You know, women get on the pill when they're 15 or 16 because their periods are too heavy or they're too painful or they've got acne, and they just put them on the pill. Rather than trying to solve the underlying problem, they put them on the pill, and then they've obliterated the need to look for those things. But those underlying problems are still there, and they're festering for the next 15 or 20 years. And now you get off the pill and you want to have a baby, and now you got all kinds of problems. And what has the pill been doing to your body when you've not been cycling every month? Not getting to know your body, not getting to know your fertile mucus, your not to value your menstrual period as opposed to think of it as a curse. You know, that nickname that's given to it, it's the curse. You know, that's horrible. And I think men did that to women.
100%.
Right.
Just to have promiscuous sex and not having kids on the side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna ascribe motives to it, but I'm saying that terminology like that.
Of course.
Yeah, she's on the rag. Think about that. She's on the rag. Her mood. She's moody because she's on her period, and the rag is essentially like a pad that she's wearing. But the body needs to do that. There's something your body is designed. Again, if you think about nature as a perfect design. Sometimes it doesn't go awry, but the normal bodily functions, think about how miraculous it is that I'm looking at you right now, that I'm breathing, that I'm smelling the smells, that I can sense my skin touching the chair or my pants or whatever, that I can breathe, and that I'm digesting my very tiny breakfast from this morning, that I can do all those things without ever having to think about it. It's a miraculous thing. And the menstrual cycle is just like that. A menstrual cycle is part of a woman's body, and we're suddenly shutting it off and saying that this is as good as nature. This is better than nature. Oh man, the hubris of man.
So there is no male pill, right? Birth control for male.
No, not that I know of. They were coming out with one.
Do you think male would have taken those pills if they would have messed their hormone system?
No, of course not.
Never.
No.
These are my hormones, right? Testosterone and all others.
No, men are even reluctant to get vasectomies.
Correct.
For whatever reason. And vasectomy is, we did a podcast on vasectomy and tubal ligation. I mean, they're both meant to be permanent sterilization. Vasectomy is an outpatient procedure done in a doctor's office. Tubal ligation is an operative procedure done laparoscopically in a hospital. It's much easier for a man to get a vasectomy. Now, there are side effects to tubal ligation and there are side effects to vasectomy. But most men are just, it makes them squeamish. Men are squeamish about that. Just anybody touching down.
Of course. Don't touch my balls. That's
Don't
it.
touch my junk, right?
Correct.
Leave it alone. So, yeah, men don't do that, but we expect women to just jump on it. And we sold it. We sold it to them as freedom.
Freedom. That's freedom.
Freedom.
That's like abortion. That's
freedom.
That's freedom.
Yep. The American College of OBGYN has agendas that I think are misguided at best. and probably financially motivated at worst. And one of them is that things like the birth control pill are the greatest thing ever. And that they've even put out memes in the past year on their Instagram account that talk about, oh, you're going on vacation? You don't need to have your period. Oh, if your period bothers you, you can take birth control pills continuously and not have a period. It's like, yeah, these are the experts in OBGYN telling you that you don't need these things and that you can do these things. And I rail against the American College of OBGYN. I think their new president is an ideologue beyond reason. His name's Stephen Fleischman, and he is constantly putting out blurbs about, that he thinks that Robert Kennedy having a panel discussion about SSRIs in pregnancy and having only one person on that panel that is pro-SSRI in pregnancy, even though, as I told you before, there's never been any data or safety studies done on pregnant women with SSRIs. He thinks that's abomination. He thinks that Robert Kennedy is a bad guy. They're all into on vaccines. They still think that pregnant women should get the COVID vaccine. And that if you counsel a pregnant woman about the COVID vaccine or about the pertussis vaccine, and they choose not to get it, which is, by the way, a very ethical choice of a woman to take the counseling and then choose to not do it, he thinks that it's the doctor's fault, that they must have counseled you wrong. Because if you counsel them the right way, then they will obviously do what you tell them to do. That is coercion, and he's the chairman he's the head of ACOG now, and he's unabashedly unashamed of, if that's a proper use of English, of saying these things. It's incredible what he seems to want to promote. He believes in the medical system and believes in the medical model, and
it's
clearly has not taken a look at outcomes. Somebody like him would be great to get on a podcast with somebody like me, or
they would never do that.
No, they won't do it. Which is what I'm saying. To sit in an auditorium with 300 people in it with a moderator,
doing Q&A,
and he's got a lot more credentials than I do. And I would sit in a chair right next to him. I'd shake his hand, and I would bet we would find that 70 or 80% of things we agree on 100%. But the other 20 or 30%, I would be willing to bet you that he's never even looked at things in a different way. Because again, these people aren't stupid.
Of course they're not. But if your idea is so good, you should be able to debate on that idea.
That's correct.
If you think that your idea is the best, that communism is the best, let's debate.
Right, but they won't.
They will never do it.
This is one of those things that I've said before, and I'm hoping that will change with the new Trump. But in the old Trump, early in COVID, if he had said to Anthony Fauci and Deborah Birx, the two biggest protagonists of the COVID vaccine and the anti-hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin stuff, and the whole lies about the lab leak theory and all that stuff, if he would have had them on the stage and he would have said to them, hey, Anthony, I booked 2 hours of primetime network time, and you and Deborah are going to go on and you're going to speak to Peter McCullough and to Jay Bhattacharya. And we're going to have a debate moderated by Brett Baer from Fox News or Dana Bash from CNN or whatever.
And
it doesn't matter.
And if you don't do it, you resign.
Correct. Right. Why wouldn't you do that as president of the United States? Because I really think he got duped as well.
Operation Warp Speed.
Yeah, I think he got duped by he trusted his medical advisors. Trump doesn't know shit about.
Yeah, he's not a doctor.
Right. He doesn't know. Well, doctors don't know shit about it either. He's not a researcher or a scientist or an expert in that. He has to trust the people that are around him. And he got really bamboozled and misled. And I think to this day he regrets it. He should come out and say it. He should come out and do a mea culpa and apologize to the American people.
He will never do it.
No, of course not.
The ego is too big.
You know what? He might.
No.
But most of these guys would never do that. But that's what I would do. And if the next time there's a big controversy about something, this is what our leaders should do. They should buy 2 hours of primetime television. By the way, if they take away Big Pharma as an advertiser, the primetime television networks will be waiting to eat that up because they need the revenue.
Right.
And people will watch that. You would have watched that. I think they would have had 100 million people watching a debate between Fauci and
do it on
Peter.
pay-per-view. I'm going to pay like 12 bucks, $20 for that.
Paper, yeah.
I would pay him.
Yeah, it should be free though. It should be free. It's your tax dollar.
But
It should
people
be
even
free.
would have paid 100%. Answer me this. One of the last questions that I have. They can invent a vaccine for, let's say, from COVID, right? Why not? Why don't they invent a cure, a pill for that? Once I get it, I take the pill and I heal up. Why not?
Well, they have them, but they're called ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine and zinc and quercetin and
Mic drop.
yeah, they have them. They can't make money off of them. And by the way, it brings up the point that you said. It's the same thing if you think of obstetrics. It's like if something really is honest and truthful, people will follow it and people will go for it. If you have to mandate it,
it's so good.
by definition, there's something wrong. There's something wrong if you have to mandate it.
I would have mandated beef every day and eggs every day.
I wouldn't mandate that either. I'm a believer if people want to be fat and lazy and have heart disease, that's fine. And you know what? And again, I don't believe that. I mean, I believe we should have a social welfare network that should take care of people. And you can't say to them, well, if this is self-inflicted injury, you can't get help. I mean, the thing is to encourage them through education and motivation, and maybe even financial motivation, saying, if your BMI is under 24, you get a $1,000 tax credit.
Ooh.
Okay? Right. Why not? Because that's what motivates people. Again, it gets back to that simple, I learned this in Basic Economics 101. I didn't need Milton Friedman or Tom Sowell, two of my favorite guys, to teach me that if you tax something, you get less of it. If you subsidize something, you get more of it. So incentivize people to be healthy.